I know Mike Sanders on the Hectagon team.
Hey, are you able to hear me?
Hi, Mike. How's it going?
Hey, I'm doing good. How about you guys?
Good, yeah, yeah. Are we still waiting for K2, or are we going to talk to you today, Mike?
Well, yes, I am also waiting for K2 right now. I've just dropped in a DM in their group.
Okay. So maybe if we get started, and if he joins while our K2's here, here we go.
Okay.
Get some music. Hi, K2.
Hello. Sorry for being late.
Okay, so yeah, if you're ready, then I can start the record and introduce you, and we can go into the Hexagon project.
Yeah, sure.
Welcome to the WorldCoin Talk community. I'm Glenn, your host. Today we have Hectagon joining us. Hectagon are offering seed investments into Web3 projects. We'll go into that and more shortly. But first, can you introduce yourselves, please?
Yeah, sure. So first of all, thank you very much for me to have a chance to say about Hectagon in here. So let me introduce myself and the team. So you can call me K2. So I am a developer. I have more than 10 years experience. I found multiple startups in education and in e-commerce. So, so maybe one of my most notable achievement is that I have a startup in education that's a online education platform in Vietnam and Thailand that have more than 2 million paid users. And I have another YouTube channel for children with more than 100 million views. So this is my past before I come to crypto. I come to crypto like 2 years ago. First, like it is hobby because I like to research new computing paradigm, like how people use computer in different ways. And I find that crypto and blockchain is very interesting. It turned the table, like how people use computers. So yeah, down the rabbit hole for nearly 2 years. Uh, for the team, I know the team like 1 year ago. So the team is basically they come from the traditional investment
We've lost you there, Katie. I'm not sure if it maybe booted you if you didn't do the capture when you joined the main chat. We lost him in the chat. Yeah, I think we've lost K2. We'll just wait a second to see if he comes back in. If the team telling me he needs to do the capture when he joins.
I'm going to check
make him admin.
Removed users right now.
I'll make him admin. That'll work.
Yeah. Okay, he's still here. I'll make him admin.
I'll just try and reach him again. Just give me a minute.
Okay.
Okay, so I just made him admin. He should be good to go. There you go.
Awesome. Here we go. Hi, Katie.
Yeah. So where have we been?
We was up to the part where you was starting to tell us about the rest of the team, K2, if we can take off from there.
Yeah, sure. So the team is that the CEO he found venture capital like 13 years ago, one of the first venture capital in Vietnam, and then they have a lot of successful investment in Web 2. So like 2 years ago, he started work on Web3 and have a venture capital named Hub Global, and I think that they invested in many Web3 projects. By the time I meet them, they think that okay, if they have traditional venture capital go into Web3, then it is really hard to scale. And we come up with the idea that maybe we have a DAO focused venture capital, so it makes it easier to scale. So these are the CEO, and then we have the CTO. He's the head of engineering at Tomochain. You might know that Tomochain is one of the layer one that started in 2017. So that the CTO, he has more than 13 year experience in technology, and the CMO and the head of marketing, both of them are more than 10 year experience in the corporate and startup And notable that they are work for multiple. As far as I know, is that they are work for startup in funding platform and they're very experienced in promoting stuff with and have many connections with agencies that marketing agencies that promote project and have a track record on that. So basically, the team is very experienced, and now we have like 35 people strong, and the dev team is like 7 people, and yeah. So that's the introduction to the team.
Okay. So yeah, if we could just, for our community investors, give us an introduction to the Hexagon project.
Yeah, so the introduction to the Hexagon project is that okay, before I introduce Hexagon projects, maybe I have to introduce you guys the venture capital model and the difference between venture capital and hedge fund, because these things are very similar, very different. I don't even know that before I went into this project. So you know that the venture capital model is that you put money in project, but you do not stop there. You put money in project, and then you have to bootstrap them, and you have to accelerate them. For example, the VSV, the old venture capital that the CEO found years ago, he spent a lot of time like working with founders, finding mentors for them, or help them with hiring, even accounting, finding the office and other things. But hedge fund is very different. Hedge fund means that you buy low and you sell high. So what is Hectagon? Hectagon is we want to bring the venture capital into blockchain. So how to do that? Because it's that venture capital model is a model that normally you just engage with wealthy people. You go to talk with wealthy people, like normally people with like $1 million US, and they say that okay, put money into my fund and lock the money for 7 to 10 years. But so that model is very limited. It cannot scale. So Hectagon, we want to be the first DAO governance Web3 venture capital funding platform for everyone. It means that we will tokens. So whoever buy the token will come like have a part of the treasury that we are going to spend to invest in project. And also in our tokenomics, we will have a system to engage people to provide value to project, to accelerate and bootstrap project.
Good, Katie.
Yeah. And yeah. So in order to invest in project, normally we will focus on Web3 project, and we also invested in early round like seed and private round, because you know that it's really difficult for retail investor to invest in seed and private round. It is like impossible for me. For example, like me personally, I never invested in seed and private round, because normally it is only for accredited investor. But for Hectagon, we believe that we raise funds from the public, and then we have a sustainable amount of funding. We also prove that we can provide value to project, and then we go to seed and private round of the project. And then together with the project, with the team, we build the project, and then we bring value back to the token holders.
Then yeah, if we can go into that. So how does Hectagon tie in with the VSV Capital that's in Vietnam? Is that one of the partners? And you've got Launch Zone and Mistletoe. Are they partners as well?
Yeah, sure. So I want to elaborate more on that. So VSV is the CEO. He was the founder and CEO of VSV. So basically, I can safely say that VSV is a role model that Hectagon wants to replicate. I usually tell my friends that actually Hectagon is nothing new. It's just like we bring a venture capital has a more than 10-year track record in the market and bring it to blockchain. So that's a relation with VSV. Next thing is that we talk to Launch Zone and other things, because when we talk to these people, they understand VSP very well, so they want to support this model. And you mentioned Mr. Toe. It's very interesting that when we talk to people in investing in blockchain, we talk to all kinds of venture capital that invest only in Web3. I mean the new one, the one that have only 1 or 2 or maybe just 3 years old investing, and they look at us and they feel us very strange because because most of the time VC in blockchain are hedge fund, not VC. But then we talk to traditional guy like Mr. Toe. You know that Mr. Toe, they have track record with more than 100 projects invested in many years. And yeah, we understand each other, and then we form the partnership and they invested in us. Yeah. So the backer team. Yeah.
And so how do projects apply for funding with Hectagon? They can actually approach you, and your community are looking to support IDOs in the future, yeah?
Okay, can you repeat?
I was reading on the website and the white paper, projects can approach you to apply for funding through Hectagon. How does that work for projects? How do they apply for funding through the Hexagon project?
Yeah, sure. So in order for project to apply to Hectagon, it's very simple. We have 2 mechanisms. The first is that we want to leverage the community. We will run campaigns, and in the campaigns, we have several campaigns that we say that if the community can give us contact and introduce us to the project, we will have reward for them. That's one thing, because we think that if we have many hectare holder, we have a community, then we can leverage the community power. Secondly, that we also have through connection to all the VC, and we talk to them, and they agree to be our partner, because you know that when a VC they invest, they want someone to go invest with them. So we prove that we talk to VC, and we prove that we can contribute value for them, not only money, but also the community and value added after post investment. So through that connection, we can go to project, and we have a portal for project to apply to Hectagon. You can go to like project.hectagon.finance, and there's a portal for project to apply.
You've got a Hexagon's DAO, so you're going to have, is it going to be a governance token with voting rights for the community on the sort of projects that you support at Hexagon?
Yeah, sure. You know that the basic token of our project is Hectare. But then if you want to participate in the governance process, and if you want to say like I want to have a voice on what project to be invested and who will be on the investment team, then you use G Hectare. So G Hectare is our governance token. You stake Hectare to get G Hectare. So there's also a benefit of staking as well. So holding G Hectare, so you get the staking reward. Yes.
I see, yeah. And can we go into the staking then? How does that work for investors? Is it locked or unlocked staking?
Yeah. So the staking now, we don't have a locking mechanism. You can stake and you can unstake it.
Treasury for a breakdown of where the money goes from that. Is it mainly to invest in other projects and IDOs, or is some for marketing, buyback and burns, LP?
Yeah, can you repeat?
Wondering the breakdown of the Hexagon's treasury, where the funds will go from that. Is it mainly for IDOs, or is it for marketing, buyback and burns, and LP?
I got it. Yeah. So our treasury is mainly for invest in project. So the question might be like how we bring value back to token holders. That is, I think, is will be the end goal in here. So our strategy is that because we have a very solid business, our business is that we are going to take the fund from the community to through a DAO to invest. And after we invest, we take project tokens, and because we want to invest, so we want to invest, and this project token will increase in price. So sometime in the future, there's 2 options for token holder to take the benefits. One is that we can sell project token. That's one option. But second option is that the token holder, the Hectare token holder can stake to get G Hectare and then burn G Hectare to take an NFT. And this NFT represents the right to withdraw the project token in the treasury. So that's the main mechanism to bring the benefit back to token holders.
Have you got the NFTs released, and how much do they cost to buy, and what utilities are attached to the NFTs again?
Yeah, okay. So you see that we in Hectagon we pioneer the concept that NFT used as a financial instrument. So this NFT you cannot buy. The only way for you to acquire that NFT is that you have to burn G Hectare to get NFT. And this NFT it acts like a wallet. Inside the wallet you have the project tokens. Let's say, for example, right now, Hectare, let's say right now, Hectare invest in the project and we have a 100 project token. And for example, you are one G Hectare holder. And because you burn your G Hectare, so maybe you get like 10 project in the treasury. But because you know that not all projects, the token are unlocked immediately. Sometimes have basic time.
Okay,
So we will need you an NFT, and you can use NFT, that NFT to claim the project token once they are unlocked.
You've got Hectare, G Hectare, P Hectare, and T Hectare. I was wondering how the smart contracts tie in with each other.
Yeah, so in Hectare we have several smart contracts. So we have like Hectare, just I explained, Hectare is the main token. But you have G Hectare is the governance token. So it represents the right for you to vote to have a voice in Hectare. Also we have a P Hectare and T Hectare. So what are those tokens? Let's think about the relation between the team investor with the community. Normally you see projects that, let's say, project come up and they say that I have like 1 million tokens, and then team get 30% with this best time and other thing. We look at that model and we think for a while and we say no, that model actually make the benefit of the investor and the team go against the benefit of the community, because you know that whenever the team get unlocked, they will dump all the tokens. So in Hectagon, we want to design a different mechanism so that the benefit of the investor and the team go along with the benefit of the community. How to do that? We create a P Hectare and T Hectare, and those tokens are only is only be able to burn to get G Hectare, but they only able to get like maximum of 10% of total G Hectare, total circulating hectare in the market. So in order for the team or the investor to exercise P Hectare to get Hectare, they have to contribute to make sure that there are many Hectare on the market. And you see that in Hectagon, the only way for you to get many Hectare on the market is that you have to get people to buy Hectare from our smart contract. Yeah.
Okay, so and I see on your website as well, you've got discounted price to buy Hectagon on your app as well. You get like 11.8% reduction in price.
Yes. Yeah. Let me explain. So you think about the stock market. So let's say you are a company and you see a stock on the stock market. So if you buy the stock, if you buy stock on the stock market, actually the money is not going to the company. The money is going to go to another trader. The company actually got very little benefit from that, and those money do not go directly to have the company to buy machine or even pay for employees to build new things. In Hectagon, we want to sell Hectare on our website, on our smart contract, because that money go directly to the treasury. That's why we create an incentive for people to buy Hectare from our from the smart contract, not going to the AMM to buy on the AMM. Because if you buy on the AMM, actually you are going to trade with other trader. You do not directly contribute to the treasury. But if you buy on the website, you contribute directly to the treasury. That's the reason why we always put a discount on our website. However, we let people, if you buy it for cheap on Hectagon website, then you have to be locked for some time. Because if we don't lock that token, then people will arbitrate it, and then the protocol will collapse. We don't want to do that, so we put a lock time there. And we also think that in the future, because like Hectagon is a blockchain version of the venture capital. And think about the traditional venture capital, you see that the wealthy people, they have to put money there and they have to lock like 7 to 10 years. But right now, if we go for that way immediately, then it's very hard for us to make the public join us. So we make the lock time like 7 days. But in the future, when the public understand the concept, we want to issue a different kind of offer. Some offer like you just lock the token for 7 days, but some offer is that you lock the token for 2 months. Some offer lock it for 6 months. It depends. But the longer you are locked, so the cheaper the price. So that's the concept. Yes.
Okay, so and have you had an audit on the smart contracts for Hexagon?
Sorry? Audit?
Smart contracts audit, yeah. On
Yeah. We already audit the smart contract because when we started, we had to list on Binance, and then we had to audit by the audit team. We also talked to some other very famous audit team like Omninisca. Yeah, but we still in the talk. Yeah. But the audit is already finished. You can see you can see the website, and you see that we already audited by Binance, by the audit team.
Okay, great. I see you've got like 25,000 members in the Telegram, so you've been building up a big community at Hexagon. And I'm wondering what you're planning to do around the marketing going into the next quarter.
Yeah, so we are expanding the market. Right now in the Telegram group, we just have one, and it's only in English. But we have requests from many people to create a group for Chinese, for people from Middle Asia and other places. So yeah, we have planned to expand our community. But I think expanding is one thing. We also want to create more educational activity, so people understand our concept, so they can stick to the protocol and go together with us. Because for Hectagon, if we just raise the fund from the public, but cannot make the public engage and provide value to project, then it's not going to work.
Okay, so let's open it up to the rest of the team. If anyone's got a question for K2 at Hexagon, go ahead.
Yeah, hey Glenn, I was listening and it sounds interesting. I do have just one question. I'm curious how you guys find the projects. Do you have, I mean, the projects that you invest in, do you have like some part of the team that is looking for them? Do you allow, I don't know, community members to come forward and say, you know, this is a good one and it might pump? How does that process work? And do you look for only like certain utilities, or what does a project need to have for you to, you know, kind of invest in it?
Yeah, sure. So you know that the reason why we do this, because we have a very strong base, that is VSV. We come from the Web 2, and you know that the state of Web 3 is that we are moving to the west. We are like we are the frontier, but it is not as scary as like 2 years ago. Now you have many talented Web 2 people going to the Web 3. So like we just look at on the Web 2 connection we have alone, and immediately we have like more than 100 applications from Web 2 that want to move to Web 3 to talk to us. But I think that's a start. Another way for us to collect more applications is that we work with VCs, because I mentioned to you that when VC they invest in projects, they also want the partner to go with them, because some VCs they have money but they don't have community. So with Hectagon, we say that we have community and we can provide value that added to project, and then we can share deals. And so because so VCs they have a lot of deals that they share with us, and we will review that. So there's two ways. Is that one is come from Web 2 to Web 3. Second is come from VC, and of course the third one is that we will have many campaigns for our community, so they can refer project to us, and they will get reward from that.
I see. Yeah, it sounds good. So basically, yeah, you're starting off with onboarding Web 2 to Web 3 and working from there. Yeah, it sounds good. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the question, Acti. Let's move on to investor questions. Let's see, Syed, you had a question for K2 at Hexagon. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Glenn. So Okay, I was thinking that as funds from the investment treasury are invested in seed or private sale, and tokens of the project are put into the Hectagon treasury. So I want to understand that will these tokens be sold at some point depending on the project growth and market condition to maximize the profit before the price of the token falls? How will that work?
Yeah, thank you very much for the question. So just think about like the traditional investment, because you know that Web3 investment or Web2 investment actually is just investment. So when you do investment, you have to support project so they can grow. So in Hexagon, we follow a principle that whenever we invest in project, we want to put a term that we will hold the token long term. So we invent a concept, mean that smart contract investment. It means that whenever we invest in the project, so the project token will be transferred not to our wallet, but into our smart contract that will be locked for the very long term. So the term will be predefined. Let's say you are a project, I come to you and we discuss, and after a long DD, we say that okay, this project is good, then we want to lock the token for 4 years. So that 4 year will be reflected in the smart contract. Yeah, and then you might ask like, if you lock the project token for so long, so how you benefit the token holders? So there are several ways we want to benefit the token holder. First is that uh, because you know that even we lock the project token for so long, but it's there, it's in the smart contract, so it makes sure that our token holder can withdraw it in the future. So we create a mechanism for our token holder to burn G hectare to get the NFT that represent the right to withdraw the project token. So that NFT also create a secondary market for our token holders. Uh, and the next thing is that we also think of a concept of the future tokens. A future token, the token that because you know that when once a project is locked in the smart contract, it guarantees that sometime in the future we can withdraw it. So we might think about a mechanism to mint a future token, and that token will maybe have some liquidity too. So just think about the Lido, right? So you know that when Ethereum get merged, a lot of people have to deposit their Ethereum. So Lido they create a concept of staked Ethereum, which XSD Ethereum will represent an Ethereum. So we think about this concept, and maybe we might implement it with project if we have agreement on that.
Understood. Got it. Thank you for explaining that. Over to you, Glenn.
Thank you.
Thank you for the question, Syed. Let's move on to Aisha. You had a question for K2 at Hexagon. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Glenn. I want to ask that will assets from investment fund be invested in a single project at a time, or investments will be made in various approved projects by Hectagon?
Yeah, thank you. So I think the number of investment is not important as the quality of investment. So yeah, if we have a chance to invest in multiple projects, then we agree we want to do that. But it is not me to decide that. It should be the DAO. Then the DAO will be the one that decide that how many projects they want to invest at once, or they just want to tackle one by one. It really depends on the DAO, because it's not me, it's DAO. And but I think the principle that we own that the DAO, so because of the principle that we started this project, and I think the DAO will agree that we focus on quality rather than quantity, because you know that it is common sense that if you invested in 100 project and you have one hit, then it works. But it's a tactic they call spray and pray. We don't do spray and pray, because we think that it is better for us to work with to invest in project and work with them very seriously to make sure that project will success. Uh, However, we never say that our bet is 100% correct, but we will do the best. Our strategy is that we want to do the best to invest in very selected project and support them to be success. Yes.
Understood. Thank you for answering.
Thank you.
Let's move on to Western Beast. You had a question for K2 at Hexagon. Go ahead.
Thanks, Glenn. So, if I completely understand the venture capitalist marketing system, it's not only monetary forms that investments can be made. Basically, you guys usually look out for small startup projects that have very good growth potential. And aside from monetary value, monetary gain, there are other skill sets that investments can be made in. Would you be venturing into running investments in other categories of skill sets that will provide profit later in the future?
Can you repeat the last part? Sorry, I lost you on that.
Okay. Would you, aside from the monetary investments people make, there are other skill sets that can be invested in. Would you be investing in small startup companies that have high potential for growth in the future?
Yeah, we invest in startups that are high potential role in the future. Yeah.
So what characteristics would you look out for in these investments before you make them?
I got your idea. So this is the thing that thank you very much for the question. I don't usually have very high quality question like this, because in the team we talk about this a lot. Because you know that our background is that we all entrepreneur and we have like more than 10 years working on startup. Personally, I found till now I found 5 startups. I success in 2 and failed 3. So we think a lot about like how to find the success one, and then we agree with each other that we will look very deeply at the founder's background, because startup is hard. Then there must be a reason that why you do this, not that. Because normally, like if you want to do startup, then at least you are not more than average people, and you have resources, and maybe you can do something that you can do something. But then you have choice, and people with a lot of choice, that's the problem. People with a lot of choice, and they jump ship all the time. So we want to carefully look at people's background and see like why they do this. Is there any like family reason things, or history or whatever, and why the team come together. It is very important to look at the founder and the reason why they do this. So this is our perspective to choose the startup that we think that will be the high growth one in the future. Because you know that the trend in the market is like, if you look at investment perspective, trend in the market is not something like you cannot know. Trend in the market is something you can see. But the hard part is that you find the one that really deliver and stick to the product to the end.
Okay, so I'll be asking the rest of my questions in your Telegram group. I wish your project the best, and I hope you stay bullish, Moonward. Over to you, Glenn.
Thank you.
For the questions, Western Beast. Unfortunately, we've run out of time today. It's been great speaking to K2 from the Hexagon project. Wellcoin Talk is for research and educational purposes. It's not financial advice. But you can check out the website, the white paper, and the official socials. We're in our main chat for the Hexagon project. Thank you very much for coming today, K2. I'll finish the recording, send a copy over for you to share with your community, and I'll send that into the main chat for anyone that couldn't listen into the call today here at our community. Thank you.
Thank you very much for giving me a chance to talk to the community. Thank you.
Come on, take care.